In these final days before destiny unfolds, hear the whisper of ancient echoes, an undeniable call that transcends the ordinary. A promise etched in the fabric of time speaks to the soul, a message of change, of hope reborn that will be revealed in just 3 days. There lies within us an invitation to awaken, to stand tall in the light of an unfolding miracle. The heavens have declared this truth, and we, as vessels of courage and hope, are summoned to embrace our destiny. Let the rhythm of your heart join the drumbeat of a future that marches steadily toward us, a future where the divine orchestrates the symphony of life, and every breath sings of promise and renewal. In the quiet moments when the heart listens most intently, there emerges an undeniable whisper, a gentle reminder that the threads of our lives are woven by a hand far greater than our own. This whisper is the promise of divine destiny, a truth that courses through every living thing, urging us to recognize that our path is not a mere coincidence but a journey marked by purpose and grace. As the sun rises and sets, painting the sky with hues of hope and promise, we are invited to embrace this inevitability, to accept that the force guiding our every step is as steadfast and relentless as the tide itself. Imagine standing at the edge of an ancient forest where each tree stands as a silent witness to countless stories of joy and sorrow, of battles fought and dreams realized. In this serene yet powerful space, the wind speaks of destinies interlaced with the pulse of the earth, reminding us that every leaf, every branch is part of a grand design, a design that transcends our limited understanding and beckons us to trust in a cosmic plan. Here in the heart of nature's embrace, the notion of divine destiny is not an abstract idea, but a living, breathing reality that calls us to stand in awe of the beauty of our existence. There is a profound comfort in surrendering to this truth, in letting go of the illusions of control and self-sufficiency, and instead allowing the universe to unfold as it must. It is in this surrender that we find our strength, for it is not weakness to yield to a power greater than ourselves, but an act of courage. The divine destiny that beckons us is both a mystery and a revelation, a path that we are invited to follow with unwavering faith, knowing that every twist and turn, every moment of doubt and exhilaration is part of a tapestry so intricate that only the divine hand could have woven it. In our daily lives, amid the clamor of modern existence, it is easy to forget that we are part of something infinitely larger than our immediate concerns. The rhythm of traffic, the relentless buzz of digital notifications, and the constant race against time can often drown out the soft, steady murmur of destiny. Yet, when we pause, when we allow ourselves a moment of stillness, we hear that murmur more clearly. It is in those moments of quiet reflection that the truth of our purpose reveals itself, like the first tender notes of a symphony that has been waiting patiently to be heard. There is a poetic inevitability in knowing that every trial we face, every joy we celebrate, is imbued with meaning. The hardships that once seemed insurmountable and the triumphs that felt almost too grand are all threads in the fabric of our destiny. They speak to us of lessons learned and strength discovered, urging us to persist even when the night seems dark and endless. In every setback lies the seed of a future victory, and in every sorrow, the promise of a new dawn. The divine destiny is not a destination to be reached by force. It is a journey to be honored, celebrated, and embraced with an open heart. Let us then consider the power of surrendering to this greater plan. In releasing our grip on the illusion of control, we allow the divine current to guide us towards experiences that shape our character and enrich our souls. Every struggle, every joy, and every quiet moment of introspection is a stroke of the Master's brush, painting a future that is as inevitable as the sunrise. The idea that our future is crafted by a force greater than ourselves can be both humbling and empowering. It invites us to relinquish the heavy burden of trying to control every twist and turn of our destiny. Instead, we learn to trust in the artistry of the universe, to believe that every setback and every victory is a deliberate part of a larger, more intricate design. In embracing this, we find the courage to step forward even when the destination is shrouded in mystery, and we learn that the true measure of our strength lies not in our ability to command the future, but in our willingness to participate in its creation. There is a kind of peace that settles over us when we surrender to this truth, Imagine standing on a windswept hill, the vast expanse of the horizon stretching out before you like a promise yet to be fulfilled. The gentle breeze carries with it a sense of purpose, a reminder that you are not adrift in an aimless sea, but rather you are part of an unfolding story that has been written with care and intention. Each gust of wind seemed to whisper that the universe is orchestrating a symphony where every note, every pause, every crescendo is arranged to lead us toward a future imbued with light and possibility. In the stillness of such moments, you may find yourself reflecting on the myriad experiences that have shaped your life. Those instances of joy, sorrow, and quiet wonder that at first seemed disconnected, but now reveal themselves as essential pieces of a grand puzzle. Every twist of fate, every serendipitous encounter, all serve to remind us that our lives are not mere accidents, but are part of a carefully choreographed dance. There is comfort in knowing that the challenges we face are not punishments, but stepping stones, intricately placed to guide us toward the realization of our highest potential. This is the gentle assurance that comes from honoring a future crafted by a force that sees beyond the present moment. To truly embrace this understanding is to open oneself to a profound sense of freedom. It liberates us from the incessant need to measure our worth by our achievements or our ability to shape outcomes. Instead, we begin to see life as an ever-unfolding tapestry where every thread, whether vibrant or subdued, has its rightful place. This recognition allows us to appreciate the complexity of our journeys, understanding that even in the darkest of hours there lies an unspoken promise of dawn. It is a call to trust in the inherent goodness of the universe, to believe that every experience, no matter how challenging, is a carefully chosen ingredient in the grand recipe of our destiny. In moments when doubt creeps in and the future seems a nebulous uncertainty, remember that there is a force that has meticulously set the stage for our lives. It is a force that does not waver in the face of adversity, but instead uses every hardship as a crucible in which our spirits are tempered and refined. The assurance of a higher plan is not a distant, abstract notion. It is a tangible presence, a silent guardian that walks beside us as we navigate the twists and turns of our existence. It speaks softly to our hearts, urging us to look beyond the immediate and to trust that the path ahead is paved with purpose. The truth that our future is not left to chance but is the result of a divine orchestration is a powerful reminder of our place in the cosmic order. It calls us to live with intention and to honor the sacred moments that lead us to our destiny. As we move through life, each step becomes a testament to this higher design, a design that unfolds with precision, grace, and a quiet certainty that the best is yet to come. In the midst of life's unpredictable storms, there is an inner strength that whispers of hope, resilience, and the courage to act. It is that spark within, quietly insisting that even in our darkest hours, we can rise again with renewed determination. Every challenge we encounter, every tear shed in solitude, is a testament to the human spirit's ability to mend, transform, and inspire. There exists within each of us an enduring flame, nurtured by hope and kindled by the promise of better days. It is this flame that dares to shine despite the overwhelming night, inviting us to cast aside the shadows of despair and step into the light of possibility. Imagine, if you will, a seed buried deep beneath the earth, a seed that, though encased in darkness, holds the potential to burst forth into a magnificent bloom. This seed is not deterred by the weight of the soil, for it knows that beneath lies nourishment, support, and the promise of a new beginning. So too does the human heart harbor dreams and aspirations, even when circumstances seem insurmountable. It is in these moments of quiet struggle that hope takes root, silently urging us to break free from the confines of our limitations. The tender bud of resilience emerges not by accident, but by the very act of believing that tomorrow holds the promise of transformation. This belief is the first step toward action, for it is hope that propels us forward into the unknown with the conviction that we are capable of creating change. Resilience is not merely about withstanding adversity, it is about harnessing the strength found in every setback and using it as a stepping stone toward growth. Life, in all its unpredictable beauty, often presents us with obstacles that seem designed to test our limits. And yet in these moments, we find that each challenge is an opportunity to tap into reserves of courage we never knew existed. It is in the struggle that we discover the raw power of our spirit. Every time we rise after falling, we etch a deeper understanding of what it means to persevere. The courage to act then becomes a natural extension of resilience, a bold declaration that we refuse to be defined by our hardships. With every determined step, we assert our belief that our destiny is not shaped by the storms that batter us, but by the unwavering strength we summon to weather them. There is an undeniable magic in the act of rising after a fall, a transformative energy that radiates from the soul and touches all who witness it. It is the silent echo of a heart that has learned to beat with the rhythm of hope, a rhythm that resounds with the promise of new beginnings. In the face of adversity, the courage to act is not a leap into recklessness, but a mindful step taken with awareness and resolve. It is an acknowledgement that while the path ahead may be steep and riddled with uncertainty, every action we take is a deliberate choice, a choice to rise above, to embrace the lessons of our past, and to march toward a future sculpted by our own hands. When we allow ourselves to be guided by hope, we begin to see beauty in the struggle. We learn that the pain we endure is not a sign of weakness, but a marker of our capacity to endure and overcome. With each challenge, our resilience is honed, our spirit strengthened, and our resolve hardened like tempered steel. It is in these moments that we find the courage to act, to step into the arena of life with our hearts open and our eyes fixed on the horizon. The act of moving forward, however small or tentative, is a declaration that we are alive, that we are capable, and that our journey is worth every risk. There is a profound truth in the understanding that hope is both the compass and the anchor in our life. It directs our path while grounding us in the knowledge that even in our moments of despair, there is a future waiting to be realized. The courage to act is born from this unyielding hope, a hope that transforms fear into determination and uncertainty into opportunity. It is a call to awaken to our own potential, to recognize that every breath we take is a chance to redefine our lives. With each act of bravery, no matter how small, we contribute to a tapestry of resilience that not only carries us forward, but also inspires those around us. In this quiet revolution of the heart, the call to act becomes a mantra, a repeated affirmation that we are more than our circumstances, more resilient than our setbacks, and braver than our fears. It is a call to listen to the soft, persistent murmur of our inner voice that reminds us that change begins with us. Each decision to persevere, each moment of defiant joy in the face of despair, is a testament to our ability to shape our own destiny. The courage to act is a living, breathing force that pushes us to stand up, speak out, and create a legacy that honors the struggles of the past while illuminating the path to a brighter future. And so in the stillness of each day, let the quiet power of hope, resilience, and courage remind you that you are capable of extraordinary feats. In the gentle unfolding of time, trust that every challenge met and every victory celebrated is a sacred step on the journey toward a life of profound purpose. And there are moments in life when a quiet yearning rises from the depths of the human spirit, a call that stirs not just one's soul, but echoes across hearts and generations. This call is for unity, a deep and sacred recognition that we are not alone, that our lives are bound together by something far greater than the space that separates us. It is in this spirit that we gather, in this understanding that we rise, shoulder to shoulder, not just as individuals chasing our own destinies, but as a people summoned by something divine, something transformative. The promise of change does not whisper to the few. It thunders through the veins of the many. And it is this thunder that calls us to move as one. When you look into the eyes of your neighbor, your brother, your sister, and even the stranger whose path has brushed against yours in silence, you begin to realize that every soul carries a piece of the same light. That light may flicker differently in each of us, but it is born of the same fire. There is no progress in isolation, no salvation in solitude. The promise that lies ahead, the shift that has been prophesied, the miracle foretold, it will not come to pass unless we reach for it together. We must lean into one another, not just with hands, but with hearts. We must listen more deeply, speak more gently, and love more boldly than we ever have before. Because unity is not simply the absence of division, it is the active presence of compassion, of shared purpose, of a dream big enough to hold us all. There is something sacred about what happens when we decide to walk together. The air changes, the weight of the world feels less heavy. And even in the face of pain, even when the road stretches long and uncertain, there is a rhythm that steadies our pace. We find ourselves held by the strength of community, lifted by the prayers we didn't even know were being whispered on our behalf. In those moments, change is not just possible, it becomes inevitable. When we move in harmony, the impossible begins to soften, to crack, to give way. The walls that once stood tall begin to tremble, not because they are being torn down in anger, but because they are being dismantled by love, by truth, by the collective will of those who believe that a better world is not a fantasy. It's a promise, waiting for our courage to catch up. To be united is not to always agree. It is not to erase our differences or to silence our histories. No, to be united is to honor each other's pain, to respect each other's journey, and to create a space where every voice matters. Unity is not uniformity. It is the divine harmony of many voices singing one truth in different keys. And when we learn to truly listen, to tune our ears to the pain and joy of others, we begin to see just how powerful we are together. This unity is not weakness, it is our greatest strength. It is the fertile ground where dreams are planted, where justice takes root, where healing begins to rise like dawn after the longest night. Change has always been born through unity, the kind that stands firm when the wind howls loudest, the kind that does not wait for permission, the kind that reaches out a hand even when the heart is tired, even when the spirit is worn thin. We have seen the world tremble beneath the feet of those who walk in unison, who believe that love and justice are not luxuries but necessities. And if we are to see the miracle promised in 3 days' time, if we are to be ready for what is coming, we must move toward it together, with open arms, with willing spirits, and with a collective faith that what lies ahead is worth every step. There is no prophecy fulfilled without the people to witness it. There is no divine promise realized without hearts willing to carry it forward. What has been spoken is not just a prediction, it is an invitation. And the invitation is not addressed to one, but to all. So we must decide in this moment to answer that call, not as scattered voices shouting into the wind, but as a single united breath rising up like incense to the heavens. We must believe that our unity is sacred, that our bond is powerful, and that together we are the vessel through which this transformation will pour. Let every hand find another. Let every voice lift the other. Let every step taken be a step toward a world where we do not simply survive, but where we thrive together. This is the hour when the divine meets the human, when the eternal touches the everyday, and when the promise of change is no longer a distant dream, but a living truth among us. And it is through our unity that this truth will rise.